Welcome to the Intuitive Solutions Billing Overview. Intuitive Solutions provides sales, implementation, training, and support. We also offer billing services as well as data hosting. You can find us online at www.intuitivesolutions.net or call our toll-free number at 877-889-1011. My name is Dwayne Prejean, and I will be conducting this billing overview. Please note that many of these tasks will be done at different times and quite possibly by different employees. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to cover the patient's master file. The patient's master file is where we locate all the demographic information for our patient, such as their name, their address, date of birth, social security number, and insurance. Notice when we click on the insurance icon for the patient, I've already loaded their personal health insurance of Medicare. We can also go through the steps of putting in a percent versus copay for our particular patient, and whether that is a flat fee or a percentage you can put into the next two fields. You can also run an integrated eligibility request through our clearinghouse. If you need to, you can also review the past inquiries through the eligibility history. You can also scan in the insurance card and have it visibly illuminated so you can simply type in your account numbers above to verify that you did put them in correctly. Once you've loaded in the patient demographic information, the next step is probably to schedule them for an appointment. I will pick an 8:15 appointment for our patient. Notice also that it will display any patient balance here on any search for a patient. You will always see the patient balance at that time. If there was a balance, your staff could then let your patient know, by the way, don't forget you have a $20 balance. Please bring that in conjunction with your copay for that particular visit date. I'm going to go ahead and select an injury for our patient here, John Doe, who carries Medicare. And I'm going to click OK. Notice that it's going to tell me that there's an authorization required. I did this just for this example so that you can see how a particular insurance with a specific visit type can trigger the need of an authorization. I can put in the authorization information now or set it as pending and let the person who worries about authorizations take care of that authorization. I'm going to go ahead and set it as pending so that we can book this appointment and then show you that on our authorization screen, we have an authorization that is now pending for the person who does the authorizations. I'm going to just go ahead and authorize it. It will open the authorization screen for me, where I can put in the authorization number and our dates that the authorization is good for, and save. Now that that authorization is taken care of, the next logical thing that we would do is go through our check-in, check-out. They show up for their appointment. I will click on John Doe, and it will take me to his check-in window. I can go through my forms to be filled. Any forms that need to be signed, we can do here. Any past balances would be listed as patient balance here on the bottom right, and if we wanted to collect the 20% of copay, we could collect it now, but because it's Medicare, we will take the 20% after we've decided what we're going to do for our patient. If it was a flat fee copay, this is where you would take it just by simply clicking on Click Here to collect copay. I'll go ahead and just click it so you can see what happens. It opens a receipt where I can put in the amount that that particular patient will owe us. Save and then close. Now that our patient is checked in, our provider will see the information on their screen to begin the charting process of the electronic medical record, which will not be covered in this instance. They will also go through the actions of putting in a super bill. I'm going to demonstrate how the provider would go and select the things that they've done. We can go through our examples here of the types of offices that they've done a visit for, and then maybe just put in a diagnosis, and save, and close. Now the provider has created a super bill. We can go through the checkout process, checking out our patient, putting in a new appointment visit for a follow-up if needed, and now we can collect the monies that they owe us that we've tabulated from the expected amount of allowed for today's visit. So I can click on the word copay. It will also open that same receipt that I showed you earlier where you can begin putting in the amount that they owe you at that time. Perhaps they didn't have the full $21.09. Maybe they just had $15 today. It was cash. And I can pick who was collecting that particular copay. And I can print a receipt if I wanted. And then complete the checkout process. Now that this is taken care of, it's the biller's responsibility of taking care of the bill, making those things from the super bill active charges. So I'm going to go through the charge posting screen, click on To Be Billed, and fetch out our patient's complete super bill. I will find that visit and bill it. It returns all of the information that the provider has put on their super bill right here. We can actively check and make sure that we've put all of our diagnoses that are needed, add any more CPT if the provider may have forgotten any, putting in any charge amounts, modifiers, changing anything we need to, and save. Notice that we have a $15 open credit. It's listed on the bottom. That's what was collected at check-in or check-out, and our copay amount for that visit is still $21.09. They were short, couldn't pay it all. When I save it, it's going to prompt me for reconciliation, where I'm going to match that particular payment that was taken at checkout with today's visit. Now, they're still going to owe us a little bit of money. I'm reconciling that charge with that particular prepayment, and it has been reconciled. At this time, the next step is to send that claim out the door through our claims module. Once you see all of your claims here, these are the ones that are ready to go out, either paper or electronic. We can run a pre-claim test to see if there are any things wrong with these claims. If it's a clean batch, we can generate it into an electronic batch or even a paper batch if we wanted to, just by picking the types here. If we needed to look at a history of something that needs to be rebilled, we can go into the history, find all the previous batches made, rebuild them, and send them back out if we need to. This concludes the billing overview.